What's up guys, Duarte here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are back for another Alliance Wars counter. We are once again facing the hybrid between Asgardians and Mercenaries, which have Taskmaster, Merc Red Guard and Merc Lieutenant, and then you have Hela and you have Loki. This team is very strong because you have Loki early on applying defense down to one of your characters, then you have Taskmaster applying bleeds and blinds, and then Hela spreading all of that, and most of the times she already has offense up from Merc Lieutenant, so this team is very deadly, and because of that we need to find good counters for them, as this team is becoming very popular. The reason why before we would see Asgardians and we would never use the Brotherhood against them is because they had Heimdall, and Heimdall would prevent the blind to be applied to them. In this situation it's not the case. They can be blinded easily by the Brotherhood, and because of that the Brotherhood becomes a good counter. Now in this specific video there are a few situations that we need to pay attention to. They have the barracks, they have the engineering, and they have the boost. So there is a high chance that your abilities might be resisted based on all that. Early defense up, those extra deflects and extra stats make it a little bit harder for you to land your abilities. If this is the case, and if your Brotherhood is not as strong as mine, I would recommend doing the T4 on Toad's passive to increase your focus, and that for sure would make the team more consistent. As you can see, it's a punch across. So let's take a look at my team in detail, and like always, if you like the information on this video, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button. Okay, so taking a look at my team, you can see that we have 4 characters at level 75, and then we have Toad at level 67. This is laziness of me. You really want to get a Toad minimum at level 71 so you can apply all those offense downs and slows that really help this team to survive a bit longer, because they have no way of sustaining themselves. Then I have Pyro, Magneto, Blob and the Juggernaut at gear tier 14, and across the board we have 5 red stars and 6 red stars, so this is a very good team. Only Toad is a little bit behind because he's at gear tier 12 and once again level 67. And I'm using Striker in most of my characters except Toad and Blob, because they have that counter ability and assist ability that allows them to clear negative effects away. And with the Striker on Magneto you do more piercing damage, which is very good against certain targets, and with Pyro it allows him to apply more bleeds. With Juggernaut he has a decent amount of damage stats, and his ultimate does a lot of damage, so the more damage you give to him the better, and this is why I also have a Striker on him. Overall the team is very good. It's balanced. You have to remember always that Blob will die quite easily, so you need to be careful, make sure that he doesn't do any funny stuff with his taunt. And because of this you need to be careful when you use the ultimate ability from Toad and so on. And then the only thing you have to worry about is just when to use the special of Magneto, if you're going to use on Merc Riot Guard or on Taskmaster. Those are a few options that you have to think about. And make sure that in case Taskmaster uses his blind, make sure that you don't waste the special and the ultimate from Pyro, because it's really important, and you don't want to use it while it's blinded. So that's my team. So let's take a look on how they perform against these very hard to deal with a Mercenary Asgardian hybrid. Okay, let's get started. Here we go. Now I usually don't use this positioning. Usually I have a Toad in the corner because he's a little bit weaker, but this is the best position that you should have. But of course, once again, it's only if the gear of everyone is exactly the same. In this specific situation, once again, I should have Pyro there where Toad is, but I forgot to change, or maybe this is from the Blitz team and therefore it doesn't have the exact positioning for this situation. Okay, so here we go. We already started. We attack first with Toad, which is good, and you can go for that offense up on Taskmaster early on. Make sure he doesn't have that offense up so he does less damage. I went for removing the defense up from Merc Lieutenant, and that's good because you want to kill him as fast as possible, but I got the problem that I was not able to remove the abilities from Taskmaster, and that offense up will be very, very dangerous. And then you want to do the ultimate with Magneto in a certain way that Hela and Taskmaster get next to the tank. This is a problem, but it's also good because the Merc Riot Guard is applying deflects to everyone around him, but because he gets a little bit slowed by Toad, it's not a huge deal. You have time to prevent those deflects, and you can also clear them away with Pyro. So now we have a blob tanking all the damage, and you saw there, if Hela is blinded, then this team is completely useless to a degree, of course. So she did her ultimate, it completely missed it, and now we just have to run our team. Pyro luckily was not blinded, so we can use his special on the first turn and decimate Taskmaster as soon as possible. We really want to remove the buffs to make sure that the slow really slows him down, and that's pretty much it. After, when he starts to attack the Juggernaut, he is not going to do much damage there, so you're fine. Now we have everyone without blind. We apply the disrupt on Merc Riot Guard, so he's not in the way, and now you can focus on the characters that matter. It might be surprising, but one of the characters that is extremely important to deal with is Merc Lieutenant. So now I'm going to attack with a blob on the middle and try to do as much damage as possible to all of them, but especially that Merc Lieutenant that has heal block and a few bleeds. Now I'm going to once again attack in the middle, so I got rid of Merc Lieutenant and Merc Riot Guard. And now I just have to deal with the remains, and the remains are still very hard to deal with, and this is a problem. We are going to apply the disrupt, trying to get some of them out of that blind, of that stealth, that's what I meant, and just to take advantage of the counters from the blob. And when you clear all the Loki clones away, you have to pay attention that you don't want to throw splash damage to the Gregs. You want to kill the least amount of Gregs as possible, and when you can, you want to focus on the other characters. So Hela is still on stealth. We still have to focus on Gregs. At this point, you could probably use healer on the Juggernaut, and he would do some work healing up your team, but I don't think it's relevant enough. But it's an option that you can do if your team is not as strong as mine. So Taskmaster finally comes out, and now we are able to apply some bleeds to him. Thanks to the Skirmisher, we are able to apply 2 bleeds, the Skirmisher on Toad and the Striker on Pyro. Now we have the blob still tanking like a boss, and we have to do some damage on that Hela, try to apply the offense down. Once again, because my Toad is not level 71, is not being able to apply. Now Taskmaster is gone, Hela goes once again on stealth, and now Loki gets exposed. So you just have to deal with this situation in a way that you can apply the disrupt to one of them, or do a combo like now, that he has a stealth, but you are able to remove it at the same time because he was already very near the 50% HP. And of course you want to kill Hela first if you can, but in this case you just have to deal with 2 Gregs. So with that you have to do single target damage, and be careful with Magneto so he doesn't do stuff like this, that he kills everyone who's next to Hela. We got lucky, one of the Gregs spawned very far away, so we can do the single target damage with the Juggernaut, with the Blob and with Toad, and that's pretty much it. So once again we go to a whole team like the Brotherhood to deal with this new threat. which is a very problematic team, this Asgardian and Mercenaries combo. Very problematic, but if you can apply that early blind, and if they didn't add so many buffs, it would be very easy. So you just have to pay attention to the characters that are more problematic, Taskmaster and Hela, but also Merc Lieutenant, because that speed up and the offense up that he gives is quite annoying, and you really don't want to do that. You really don't want to have that going on for them. And if you can, as soon as possible, apply the disrupt to everyone with Pyro, and that pretty much cancels the team. So that's gonna be the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, you know what to do. Smash that like button like a boss. If you found the information on this video helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I'll catch you guys later.